Has anybody been watching the Dynasty on the Patriots? It's this show on Apple TV. It's called the Dynasty. I think it's like 10 episodes or something like that. What the heck? We don't have any Tom Brady fans in here? Like, stop playing with me, man. See, this is the problem. Everybody in the side chat has just been out crushing deals, so nobody has time to go watch the Patriots. Oscar says, no TV household. I feel that. I watched this thing on the Patriots, and it's called the Dynasty. It's like, over the, whatever, it was like 20 years or something that they had a crazy run, right? Brady had like 7 rings or whatever. And there's the episode where the Patriots beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl, okay? So, and it shows everybody all mic'd up, like how people's mentality was, what people were saying. It shows people's facial expressions. It shows what the other team was saying, all that. And the Patriots are getting their butts beat for the first, 3 quarters. For those of you who aren't football fans, a football game is 4 quarters long. So for 3 quarters of the game, the Patriots were getting their butts beat. By the 3rd quarter, they were down 28-3. Okay? But I'm listening to all the players as they're mic'd up and they're having conversations while they're down 28-3. I'm not kidding. Every single one of the Patriot players were like, oh, yo, this is going to be a dope story. Edelman said it 5 different times, mic'd up. He's like, listen, man, this is going to be a dope story. I can't wait till the end of this. This is going to be a dope story. Meaning oh, no, we're winning this game. I'm winning. That's it. I'm winning the game. That's how everybody on the Patriots were talking during those 3 quarters, right? This is what the people on the other side were saying. They were like, they don't know what the heck they're doing. Yeah, this ain't nothing. Whatever. They were just kind of being mad passive, laid back. These dudes are on the sidelines, mic'd up, saying this. They're like, yeah, whatever. We're good. Whatever. Not oh, yeah, nah, this is how they should have been. They should have been like, oh, wait, 4th quarter's coming up? Oh, we're putting up another 28 points. This is we're going to beat the brakes off these people. It's over. Instead, they were kind of just passive. They're just like, whatever. They forgot they were messing with the best. They were messing with Tom Brady, right? So the end of the 3rd quarter comes around. Now, all of a sudden, the Patriots score a touchdown, and they start hammering. And the rest is history. They end up winning the game in overtime, and, Tom Brady is a hero again. But it was the mentality. I was listening to all of them mic'd up. I'm like, man, they were so convicted in what they were doing. They were like, I'm winning this game no matter what. It's not even a thought in my mind. Even they were saying during the locker room, at the locker room time, there was no, heads down, oh, damn, we're getting the brakes beat off of us. No, it was everybody in the locker room was like, oh, yeah, no, we just got to go do our job. Literally, that's the Patriots motto. The Patriots motto was, do your job. Everybody in the locker room was just like, oh, yeah, bro, no, we just got to do our job. That's it. We just got to do our job. I just got to make the seller call. That's it. I just got to make the call, and I'm going to assume a yes. I just got to do the thing and assume it's going to be successful. At the end of the day, if I ended up losing the Super Bowl, yeah, that would stink, but I'm going to assume that I'm winning. That's just in my brain. But here's what happens. It's people will call this manifesting, right? You become your thoughts and all this type of thing. And that's true. The Bible says, how a man thinketh, he iseth, right? Whatever you think, you are. But here's the practicality behind that. Your action comes out from how you were thinking, right? So however you think something is going to be, let's think about it. I'm lifting weights and I'm about to lift something really heavy. My brain is thinking yo, I gotta get pressed up for this. I gotta get ready, right? So you freaking force it. But if you just have some small weights on there, maybe you might be lackadaisical. You might be a little bit passive. You get the thing off the thing and you're just like, whatever, boom, right? So whatever you're thinking, it shows in your action. And it is the action that produces the fruit. And the fruit is the result. So if I'm lifting weights just passively, yeah, I might be a little in shape. But if I'm being intentional and I'm going in there and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to put some decent weight on here. I'm going to force it. I'm going to get good form. I'm going to be explosive. Now, the result is the fruit, and the fruit is you being shredded, right? So that's really what this is all about. So this is how I want to break this down to finish things off. At the end of the day, all these convictions that we have in us, on our hearts, in our brains, in our minds, they're all taught over time. They're taught since we were a little kid. They're taught through time. They're taught as we grow up. They're taught through parents. They're taught through peers. They're taught through mentors. And subconsciously, you're like learning all these convictions that you get, right? And I'm going to call these convictions roots. They're like roots of a tree, okay? And what happens is these roots end up producing a tree, the tree trunk, and now all of a sudden there's branches that come off of the tree trunk. And these branches are the habits that come from the root, okay? So the roots are the convictions, and what happens is branches are created, and those branches are the actions that you're taking because of the convictions, right? And then what happens? A branch goes off of the tree, and it produces some sort of fruit. And the fruit is the result. The fruit is you helping a seller out and getting a deal. The fruit is you getting a $50,000 check. The fruit is, you having a great relationship with your wife. Okay, so at the end of the day, what did we learn? At the beginning of the podcast, I was saying like we have these convictions, right, that make us take an action, and the action is what produces the result. So what we just got to realize is, man, I just got to get the root right. If I got the right roots, the tree's going to grow automatically. The tree grows no matter what. So the roots are planted, the tree grows, okay? And now your branches are growing as well. And those are actions that you're taking, okay? So at the end of the day, this is what I meant to say. In the beginning of the podcast, I was thinking about this. I'm like, what good is it? What does it matter, if you have all the knowledge in the world? If you know the right list to be on? If you know the exact, new lead generation strategy that is beating everybody else out? What good is it if we don't have the right convictions, right? If we're not convicted with the right roots. So what needs to happen, and this, I have to do this myself all the time. I have to uproot things. I got to uproot all these convictions that I have in my heart, in my mind, and plant new roots so that can produce new branches, so that can produce new fruits. But what does it take? It takes us finally realizing that. And that takes a couple different things. That could take you getting in the right rooms. That could take you just looking yourself in the mirror. That could take you having a conversation with your wife. That could take you praying. That could take you talking to God and figuring that thing out. Like, Lord, what are the roots that I have currently in my life? What are the convictions that I am maybe even subconsciously convicted on that can be changed, that are going to produce different fruits? Let's get the right convictions.